Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sharif Hassan. Today I'm discuss about the basic question about Next.JS and Redux. Number one, how does Next.js differ from a traditional React application? Next.js is a framework built on top of React that provides additional features like server-side rendering, static site generation, and file-based routing. Traditional React application usually use client-side rendering, that is called CSR, where the entire application is rendered in the browser. In contrast, Next.js can pre-render phases on the server, providing better performance and SEO when it is used static site generator. The phase is the HTML phase is pre-generate in the server. What are the advantages of using Next.js for server-side rendering? Number one, improved performance. Server-side rendering delivers HTML content directly to the client, which can be displayed faster than waiting for JavaScript to render it. Better SEO. Since server-side rendering provides fully rendered HTML pages, search engines can crawl and index content more efficiently. Faster time to interactive. Users can see and interact with content as soon as possible, as the HTML is already generated in the server side. Flexible rendering. Next.js allows for a combination of server-side rendering and static site generation and client-side rendering, depending on the specific needs of each phases. Explain the difference between server-side rendering and server-side generation, static site generation. In server-side rendering, that is SSR, phages are rendered on the server for each request. This means that the server generates the HTML content on the fly, providing fresh data for every user request, which is more faster and flexible. Static site generation. Static phases are pre-rendered at build time and served as static files. This approach is ideal for content that doesn't change frequently, as it offers faster loading times and better performance. What are the get static props and get server side props function? Get static props is a function used in Next.js to fetch data at build time. It allows developers to fetch necessary data and pre-render the page as a static HTML file. This function is especially useful for pages where the data doesn't change frequently, providing better performance and caching benefits. Get server-side props. Get server-side props is a function that fetch data at request time on the server. This function is executed for each request, allowing the server to generate dynamic content to allowing the server to generate dynamic content based on the request. It's useful for pages where the data needs to be up to date or user specific, such as dashboards or user profiles. What is Redux and why? What is Redux and why it is used? Redux is a state management library for JavaScript application, most commonly used with React. It helps manage the state of an application in a predictable way. The main reason for using Redux is to have a centralized store where the entire state of the application is maintained. This makes it easier to manage and debug the state changes, as they are predictable and follow a strict pattern. Redux also allows for better scalability and easier testing of a application by separating the state management. And now at this time, Redux is used all other the JavaScript library too. What is a reducer? What is a reducer in Redux? A reducer is a pure function in Redux that takes the current state and an action as arguments and returns a new state. It specifies how the state should change in response to an action. Reducers must be pure functions, meaning they should not produce any side effects and should return the same output for the same inputs. This purity ensures that the state transitions are predictable and testable. How does Redux manage state? Redux manages state using a single centralized store that holds the entire state tree of an application. The state in Redux is immutable, meaning it cannot be changed directly. Instead of when an action is dispatched, the reducer processes the action and produce a new state object. This new state replaces the old one in the store. Store components subscribe to the store to get the current state, and that can be also dispatch actions to update the state. Thank you.